Morning! Here we are. We're on the northern island side of Upper Loch McNean. We're at a boat launch. I was going to fish the forestry, but there was a bit of an emergency on the bridge. There was a couple of police cars and an ambulance, so I wasn't going to try and push past those guys. Let me show you where I am. We're in this little bay where the boats get launched from the Northern Irish side. It's not that deep, it's pretty shallow. We're just having a little bit of a look-see. Weather's meant to be pretty terrible today, so we might not be here for long. And I've just put one feeder in and I'm about to cast again. So roll the intro and let's have a laugh today. So here we are in the rain in Fermanagh. Today's vlog will be taken from the view of the chest cam, because I'm on a really skinny jetty. There's nowhere I can get a tripod in. So yeah, chest cam. So you're going to see loads of what I see. I've just spent the last half hour chucking a feeder every 90 seconds. I've had one roach and there is fish topping. I'm not fishing very far out. It's shallow enough in here. It is 3 seconds from splash to hitting the bottom, using a 30-gram feeder and using one of the it's a 30-gram. Just make sure that you're getting it. Yep, 30-gram Crested Jail feeder. I really like these, they're quite good. You can wrap the particles into them and get them put out. Like I say, not fishing very far out. And the rain has just started. We're meant to be getting torrential rain, so at some point today I might just go and sit in the van, because balls to sitting in torrential rain. And I have a wasp that's buzzing around my head, so if you see me kind of jump off into the water, then you know that I've been trying to fucking avoid kamikaze wasps. We're getting to that point now in the year where the wasps just go from being an asshole to being a proper asshole, where they just want to sting everybody for the fun of it. Ground bait mix is great. Is black crumb with Census, Gross Gardens, and a good lug of vanilla from Census Aramix. It's the liquid stuff. And I've mixed the ground bait I've mixed the ground bait dry because I'm fishing shallow. You know, I'm wanting there to be a bit of a cloud. I'm not wanting it to be dead and inert on the bottom. If I was fishing deeper water, then you want the ground bait to be kind of stickier, so it sits in the feeder until it gets to the bottom. But because I'm fishing in, I would say, 3 seconds at 30 grams, you know, you're not really a deep place. You know, maybe less than 9 feet deep. So I'm wanting there to be kind of a cloud of nice particles and ground bait going up into the water column. And we have the wind pushing this way, which was strange because when I arrived the wind was pushing this way. How are you liking these finger effects? But it's one of those days where I'm just going to see what I can do. I'm going to enjoy being out in the wilds of Fermanagh. So yeah, let's see how today goes.
A few moments later.
Well, there's bream in the bay. I've just had one bumped off at the landing net. I didn't even get the landing net down that threw the hooks at my feet here, so it wasn't a big bream, it was about £2. It was at that point where it just goes from skimmer to bream. Starting to feel a lot of chopped up worm now. A lot of chopped up worm, castor, hemp and corn. Casting the same sort of, you know, one chuck every 2 minutes. Just trying to get feet on the bottom here. We've already had our first pretty heavy rain shower. I decided that I was going to run away like a big girl's blouse and sit in the van for 5 minutes. There's not a lot you can do when it starts to piss down with rain, like really heavy. You can either sit in it and hope that your waterproof gear keeps you dry. And this is very old. This Pressed Innovation stuff's pretty old. I'm actually replacing it. I'm going for Fox Matrix this time round. I was very impressed. I haven't actually done a review on the Fox Matrix stuff, the Fox Carp stuff I got for the pike fishing. Very impressed with it. Quite like it a lot, but I haven't done a review on it. Basically, that stuff isn't thermal. It's the same sort of material as what I'm wearing, but it's like in the Fox camouflage stuff. But it's more so for fishing early in the season. Let's be honest, if I'm fishing and there's like, it's really cold, I'll wear the thermal stuff. I do have a Nash zero tolerance thermal bivin brace, a pair of salopets, the jacket. And that's the only problem with wearing that there is if you have to walk anywhere and it's like wearing a fucking sleeping bag, you're roasted. You know, but I've also got a new brolly system. I went for the tracker brolly shelter thing, the tall one, the tracker 100 tall one. Because if I'm going to be doing overnight sessions this year, there's no point taking the big JRC brolly, a big JRC bivvy with me, because it looks like I'll be doing overnighters solo. So I just have to have something that's a bit smaller, a bit easier transported. I'm kind of a bit surprised that I've only successfully put one fish in the keep net. I've had 2 bites, and one of them's been a bream and one of them's been a roach. Maybe it's because this is a shallower bay. Fish aren't in here. But there was fish topping when I arrived. I don't know. I will give it another hour, and if I have nothing in another hour, if I have no bites or no more fish, then I might pack up and call it a day.
More moments later.
Way, now it's looking like you can see me, or you'll have a great view up my fucking nose. How's the beard looking, you know? I don't think I'll include this in the vlog. YouTube might kick me off for traumatizing people.
One eternity later.
Oh. Yeah, it's a bit windy. And it's a bit wet. Let's move you so you can see the horizon. Over that way is the main Loch McNean. This is where we launch from if we were in a boat. This is the Northern Ireland side. You see me fishing on the Republic of Ireland side. There's two parts of McNeen. There's Upper and Lower McNeen, and they're connected by a river that flows between the two of them. Then McNeen empties out into a river called the River Arnie, which flows into the main River Erne system. There's been a match this week, a festival this week. You know, there was a couple hundred anglers, I think, across to do a festival. And by all accounts it was shockingly bad, really terrible results. You know, so that's not what you want. But this is the first real rain we've had in a while. Normally in Northern Ireland you get rain all the fucking time. Well, this is the start of September and we have rain. There's actually a weather warning for rain today, tomorrow, and on Monday and Tuesday apparently we're getting thunder and lightning, so yeah, winter is coming. Is that a bite? Nothing. I suppose I should really do like a long-term review of this reel. The Extremity 620 reel by Preston Innovations. But it's like everything, I kind of try and find the time to do shit. Oh. Yeah, so these are the feeders I'm using, the Crested Gel ones. I'll just show you what I'm doing with them. What you have here is a little chopped up dish of bits and pieces. There's some corn, there's some hemp, there's some chopped worm. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all of this into it. All of it. There we go. All of it's in there. Then you plug up your feeder with your ground bait, and then you give it a throw out. We don't have to go millions of miles today because we're not fishing that far out. And that's us on the bottom. 3.5 seconds. Trying to keep the ground bit dry, so I'll throw that over there. This little tub's great. Just a little quarter pint or whatever it is, a half pint bait tub. I think it's a half pint, I'm not sure. But you fill up you put your chop worm in, you put your worm into it, and you give the old chop. Then you add your other freebies. I tend to keep the freebies and the particles separate from the ground bait, because there's times where I just want to feed crumb, and then there'll be other times where you want to feed lots of particle to get the fish in. But at the minute it doesn't seem to be making a bloody difference, because after that, like the roach bite came, I think it was like the third or fourth cast, I caught a roach, and I thought woohoo, and then talked to you for a bit and started putting worm through the feeder and started to catch, or that was a really good bream boot, but it fell off. But anyway, I'm going to knock you off and chat to you in a minute.
Just then.
Hide in the van. Big rainstorm. Not going to sit at that. Hide in the van for 5 minutes, let it go away. Hiding in the van also gives me the opportunity to speak to you good people. There's a bit of an organisation in the UK at the minute called Don't Pay UK. I have issues here. I have issues. Now, personally, Palace, Scobie and Oma, we're fortunate enough to have a wood fire burning stove that heats the house as well as oil heating. We don't really have gas here in Northern Ireland. Parts of us do, most of us don't. So we're reliant on home heating oil, you know. At the start of August last year, 900 litres of home heating oil was like 350 quid. August this year, when I got heating oil, it was £745, so it's more than doubled. Then, in a space of a week, it went from 745 for 900 litres to 845. So in the space of a week, it jumped 100 quid, and the last time I checked, it's still rising. So home heating oil is scary expensive at the minute. Because I have the log burning stove, it can burn fuel, coal as well. So we put the odd scoop of smokeless coal through it. Those were, they were about £18 for a 50 kilo bag. Now it's £28, so it's up a tenner. Sucks, really does suck. Thankfully, the guy I get my logs off, it's 200 quid a load, and it's 200 quid a load. He hasn't added anything to it. It's 200 quid a load, and that's usually enough to fill my log store by my back door and two big agricultural feed bags full of logs. They're stocked now. Last year, we took 2 loads off that guy, and it got us through the winter. So it's expensive. Adulting is hard. It is expensive. I understand this. But my thinking with these can't pay, don't pay types is the people that's doing all the talking and telling you not to pay these things, they're financially in a place of comfort. For the most part, the ones that I've seen are financially secure, put it that way. There's no issue of them going hungry. So what it strikes me as is the loudest mouth in the room saying the stupidest shit to wind up people who are getting a little bit desperate and getting the squeeze a little bit. So you're going to have people that are in a place where financially everything is hurting, and you're going to have these people in the back of their heads going, yeah, fuck it, just don't pay it. Just don't pay it. Don't pay your bills. Just don't pay. Well, the obvious thing that will happen is your energy supplier will just stop giving you electricity or gas, and then you're fucked. But you also don't just magically you just don't magically write off the debt that you owe these people. What they will do is they will go through a small claims court, and it's like I think the last time I went through small claims court, it was like 60 quid to take somebody to court. Next to nothing. So they'll happily pay the £60. They will then take you through court systems. You will then have a county court judgment against you, and that will stop you getting any sort of credit for near a decade. Simple things like Sky TV. You go to move house and get your Sky TV, because you have a county court judgment against you. The Sky TV guys might say, yeah, this person's a risk. I ain't giving this person a Sky contract. BT, another one. BT is very litigious. BT will not put a phone line into your house if they think that you are a risk, so they won't do it. So you end up with no phone line, no internet, no TV. The BBC TV licence is a different story. I refuse to pay the BBC TV licence because, well, BBC are scum. It's absolute scum. I refuse to fund them. The way they covered up for the likes of Jimmy Savile sickened my shite, and I will not pay for the BBC. But the BBC could take you through courts and get you, ultimately, it could end up with you going to jail for not paying a TV licence. So, that's up to your own consciousness. But at the end of the day, the TV licence is like 140 quid. Your gas bill could be quite a lot more than that. Your electricity bill could be quite a lot more than that. So this company that now has a county court judgment against you will then sell your debt to do these things. They will sell your debt to debt collection agencies who will literally turn up at your house and take your shit. Now say you owe a company £1,000 for your electricity. This company will sell your debt to a debt collection agency, and your £1,000 debt will now cost £2,000 because the debt collection agency will add in their fees. So when they come to your house to take your stuff, they're taking the stuff that will cover the £2,000. You might have cars that you think are worth £5,000. They'll sell them at an auction where it's lowballed, so that car only gets sold for £1,000. So your £5,000 car gets sold for £1,000. So you still owe money. Then there's collection fees. Then there's storage fees of all the shit they've took from you. And you basically have got yourself an imaginary spade, and you are digging a big fucking hole. And the longer it goes on, the deeper this hole gets, the harder this hole is to get out of. So you're kind of screwing yourself, all because some loudmouth with a fucking agenda has tricked you into saying this whole, well, if we don't pay, what are they going to do to us? Well, I've just explained what they will do to you. Now, I'm not connected to money collection agencies. Cards on the table. When I left the military, I worked for the Public Prosecution Service here in Northern Ireland. And Northern Ireland is a little bit different to the mainland UK. Here we don't have bailiffs that will come to your door, because the chances of them getting magically disappearing is better than most. I mean, this is a country where the TV licence men, when they come to your door, they're usually coming with the police in tow, because they tend to get a beating. Not going to feel sorry for them. Sucks to be them. Find a better job. Same as traffic wardens. If you're struggling, like really struggling, then you gotta fucking figure something out. Try and get a side hustle. Try and get something to scrape some pennies together. As simple as if you can't afford to put gas in your house, you can't afford your heating. There is things that you can do. Switch providers. Go to the competition and say, look, I fucking tired of paying this for this company. Give me a better deal. And it's fucking hard. It is fucking hard for everyone out there. The people at the lowest end of society are feeling the shaft. And anyone that tells you this is because Russia invaded Ukraine, punch that lying bastard in the face. Cock your hand into a fist and you smash that prick in the face as hard as you can, because the UK gets no oil or gas from Russia. The UK could increase production of North Sea oil. It could do that, but somehow it's not doing that. And it's not really down to members of parliament. Sure, they can say we want the private companies to produce more oil. Because the oil and gas in the UK is not nationalised, the government can jump up and down and stamp their feet as much as they fucking want, and it won't make a difference. At the end of the day, it's BP or it's Shell or some other multi-million-pound corporation that makes the decision. Now, they're in a profit margin at the minute where they can go, we're making quite a lot of money for our product, so we'll just fucking dwindle the stocks a little bit, thin it out a little bit, and we'll get as much as we can for our stocks. Because this time last year, the big companies, the big oil companies, were struggling because oil was worth next to fuck all. Now, that pendulum has swung backwards in favour of the oil company. And you're damn right they're going to take every penny that they can get from you. I don't understand why British society is making things, is tolerating a lot of things. I don't understand the British people, how we sit back and kind of absorb things and tolerate things. You know, we're one of the most welcoming, friendly countries in the world. Everybody wants to be here. Everybody wants to come here. And we tolerate so much shit. You know, inner cities, any big city in the UK, we seem to have like feral youths that seem to be practicing for some sort of game where they stab the shit out of each other. And that's like the latest craze. Shank your mates. We tolerate this. We tolerate corrupt politicians. We tolerate strikes. Things like the trains going on strike. You know, the train drivers will say, oh, we're not getting enough money. Join the fucking club. Nobody's getting enough money. All striking does is hurts the people on the lowest end of society. These fucking communists, just stop oil. These fucking environmentalist terrorists. They fucking seem to be getting a free go by the police. Why? Why are we tolerating this? Go to a football match. Go to any football match in any town up and down the length and breadth of the UK, and I fucking guarantee you, the police, be they Police Scotland, be they the Met in Manchester, or be they the police in London, they fucking treat you a hell of a lot differently to how they treat these just stop oil and just fucking give up this and just... Why? Why are the police not getting this? Why are they not treating them the same way as they would treat you and me if we were at a football match? If we went to a football match and it got a bit tasty, the cops would steam in and split your fucking skull. No hesitation, and there's never any comeback. There's never any sort of, investigations or anything like that there. The cops just say, scumbag football fan needed cracked skull. Scumbag football fan got cracked skull. So these environmental lunatics that's blocking roads and stopping things, now they're going after fucking milk. They're going into shops in England and tipping milk out of bottles. Fucking milk. Something as fucking benign as a pint of milk is upsetting these fucking pantywaists. And we are still tolerating this nonsense. Fuck me. I should sit out in the rain. I'd be less angry. Fuck this, I'm going to give the fishing another 10 minutes, and if there are no bites, then I'm going to go home. Oh, this is just not any fun today. I now have 2 fish in the keep net. One of them is a tiny jack pike that took a worm. Safe to say, I think today's a bust. Yeah, today's definitely a bust. It has been very slow all day.
20 minutes later.
Very, very slow. Very, very slow. Two fish in the net, one of them a teeny tiny jack pike that I caught on a worm. The rain isn't letting up. I think I might just knock it on the head today, because this is torture today. Absolute torture.